Good afternoon to everyone. Hello, am I audible to all of you? Hello, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So today is the last class which has been scheduled in the program, and today I will discuss the block 8 of MEG-6, which is American drama. Okay, so drama is a very popular genre. We know from the history of literature that poetry and drama, they are the oldest they are the oldest kind of literature. They are the genre of literature, and we find the drama from the very early of the civilization, the theater drama. Okay, so American drama, when we talk about American drama, this is something different from the European, or you can say the British literary tradition. As we know, America as a continent, America as a country, we find uh, coming up late in the history of world. In 1776, with the independence, America became free from the British clutch, and uh, now onwards it is a country, or you can say a continent. But before that, America has no literary history, which is found actually is very negligible. So now, when we talk about American drama, the first unit covers introduction to American drama, a brief history about the drama as a genre, how it developed in American context. American drama originally, you can say, actually the true drama what we know today with all its features characteristics began with Eugene O'Neill in 19th century. Okay, in 18th century, towards the uh, last quarter of 18th century, America got independence. In 1776, we have already discussed. And in 19th century, actually, a drama became a genre in America. And Eugene O'Neill, the dramatist, uh, can be said the most important dramatist who um, contributed a lot to American drama and American theater. So before that, before 19th century, or before, you can say, before uh, the War of Independence, American War of Independence, was there drama? Was there any theater in American culture in those 13 settlements that usually established by the Puritans from Britain, from England? So, was there any trace of drama? As drama is a very ancient tradition, theater is a very ancient tradition in British literature. We find the Britishers who came from England or from Britain to America. So, are they have any interest, or do they have any interest in drama? So, this is a question. And if you talk about that question, yes, okay, there was drama, there was theater in America, but it was in a struggling stage. Okay, drama struggled for 200 years. Okay, from the beginning of the settlements by the Puritans till 19th century. Okay, for 200 years, drama struggled in America to become a genre. The Puritans focused on physical and spiritual survival. The Puritans in those settlements, they are fond of physical well-being as well as spiritual wellness, spiritual power. They want spirituality at the core. They believed in frugality. Okay, frugal way of living. Frugality means becoming very economical, spend very less. So if there will be a theater, you have to go to the theater, you have to spend there. Okay, so they do not have the habit, or they were against to spend more. They like to be frugal. They focused on frugality. They believed that frugality is one. Second one is hard work. Hard work. Hard work is also very important for them. And piety, piety means to purify your body, to obey all the religious rules and regulations strictly, that will make your soul pious. Okay, you will become a pious person. So that piety is very important. So three things they usually believe in, or they focus. That is, first one is frugality, second one is hard work, and third one is piety. Okay, and for them, theatrical activities, or you can say activity, was uh, anathema. Anathema means a course, like something very which is not pious. Okay, which is illegal, which is banned, you can say. So there was no scope for theaters. There was the cultural, it was a cultural phenomena, you can say, that they, according to their culture which developed in those 13 settlements by the Puritans, it was mainly governed by the Puritan principles, where theater was banned. Theater was not encouraged. Okay, you will find that a play called Ye Bare and Ye Club. Okay, that is a play in 1665. It was possibly the first theatrical performance, you can say, in the land of America, which resulted in the trials of the actors. The actors were dragged into the court. Okay, they were tried in the court. They were asked many questions. They were given punishments. Okay, so you can say that there was certain law, there were certain laws which prohibit theatrical activity in America during that Puritan period. Okay, late in 17th century. Okay, late in 17th century, towards 1690s, we find that students of certain colleges, they started to enact plays in the college. In the college atmosphere, they started to perform certain plays uh, in college auditorium, or in college campus. And that was not in the motive of developing the genre, or establishing a new literary genre in the society. The main concept was, the main motive behind performing plays in the campus of a college was to practice oratory. Okay, oratory means the power of speech. So uh, those who have the expectation of becoming politicians, they had to practice. They have to enrich their skills of oratory, or you can say oratorical skill, or the skill of oratory, in which you will practice how to speak in the public with depth and with effective power. You can influence others by speech. So that can be practiced by performing certain roles in a theater, in a play. So that is why they thought of enacting different plays in colleges in 17th century. Okay, late in the 17th century, you can say late in the 17th century, and that was limited to those college campus. During the revolution period, before the American War of Independence, or before America became independent, that period, during the revolution period, when the American settlements, they went against the rules of the British Parliament, there was revolts, there were a lot of means fighting in between these two uh, places, and we find at last America got independence. So during that revolution period, we find drama became an instrument for pamphleteering, um, showcasing, so advertising, you can say. Okay, so it is used to showcase. It is used, drama as a as an instrument was used for pamphleteering either natural nationalism or loyalty to the crown. So those who supported the crown, okay, in order to show their loyalty, they performed the drama, and that was the medium of showing their concern, respect to the crown. And some others, they, in order to pamphleteer, in order to advertise, in order to reach the people with nationalistic attitude, nationalistic ideology, they also started to perform different plays. So you can say different stages of American drama that we discuss, they have certain goals at the back. Okay, at the background we find certain selves. The real motive of means introducing a new genre, modifying it, and making it an unique, you can say a unique genre in American context. That was not the concern of the dramatists, the actors, the theaters, the person, those who own the theaters. They do not have that concept. It was only dependent on some underlying selves. Okay, this was the condition during the revolutionary period. Okay, so now drama became a faithful and monologic servant of the political cause. In politics, in order to mold people, in order to attract people, in order to propagate your concept, your ideology among the people, so drama was used as an instrument. Okay, nationalistic drama then came just after independence. We find a phase in American drama which is called nationalistic drama. That is after the independence. And in 19th century, we find popular drama in the very first part of 19th century. But in the late 19th century, there was the rise of realistic drama in America. That was the phase in which we find Eugene O'Neill becoming a pioneer of drama, American drama. Okay, so that is the point where America got its recognition for a great contribution to drama. American contribution, a unique contribution. Okay, so before that, the drama, the plays, they are just the plays enacted somewhere in Greece, somewhere in Rome, Italy, or some other places of Europe, even in Britain also. The same drama, certain new dramas on nationalism, on certain other aspects. Okay, so they are very meager in amount, in quantity, you can say, and that was also very negligible. You can say that they cannot be considered as a genre developing or flourishing. It was the same as earlier, and they were just imitating them. But from realistic drama in 19th century, late 19th century, or in the first part of 20th century, which emerged in America, was its own. Okay, later we find other people, other literary figures imitating this. So now you find America having its own drama. This is a brief introduction to American drama. So now coming to Eugene O'Neill's The Hairy Ape. Okay, we have two dramas to cover. One is The Hairy Ape, and another one is The Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. Two dramas. So now we'll focus on Eugene O'Neill's The Hairy Ape. So The Hairy Ape is published in 1922 and is an expressionist drama, expressionist play. So when we say expressionism in literature, it is a reaction, you can say, against naturalism, materialism, okay, realism also, you can say. It's a rejection of realism, a complacent bourgeois prosperity against the complacent bourgeois prosperity, um, rapid mechanization, you can say, or urbanization. Okay, against the urbanization, industrialization, and the domination of the family within a pre-World War atmosphere, pre-World War, first World War in the European society. That was the condition. So when we talk about expressionist drama or expressionism in literature, we mean that it is the expression of emotion. Okay, it is the expression of the state of mind. Realism does what? It project the character as it is without going depth to the depth of the internal psychology of the character. So expressionism believes in the description of the psychological process, the mental process, the state of mind, the emotional expression. Okay, so that is something different. We find realism is different. You can relate expressionism with that concept of interior monologue that we say during the 20th century novel. Okay, um, that is something related. Okay, so this is very special to German literature, or you can say it originated expressionist drama or expressionism in literature. It was originated in German by major writers, and one of the pioneer, or the greatest pioneer, was August Strindberg. August Strindberg is given all the credit for this particular movement in literature, okay, in which the human state of mind is given more priority. Sometimes things are very exaggerated in order to show the express, so the emotions fully expressed. We find exaggeration. Okay, this is to some extent different. Okay, here we find the characters internal psychological movement, the psychological problem, the expression of emotion, okay, is very important. Okay, we are not going to discuss more about that. We have to cover two dramas. So now coming to the Hairy App. It is very important drama, not very long, only in 8 scenes. We will find only 8 scenes, and the main character is Yank. The summary in brief, you can say like this: Yank is a fireman. Fireman means who usually work in the fireplace of a ship, or a liner, where they used to pour coal into the fireplace so that the engine will go on working. So that is their job. There were many firemen in that liner. Okay. And where we find this particular character Yang to be the leader, very muscular, very strong, stout, having a very furious figure. Okay. You can find hair all over his body. Okay, looking Neanderthal, like a Neanderthal. You can see the apes, gorilla given Neanderthal. So he looks like a Neanderthal, and he was the leader. You can say he was the most dominated fireman in that liner. Okay. So there we find, uh, while they are working, this particular character Yank is dominating them, advising somebody, and sometimes he urges the other firemen to do something. They enjoy, they drink, they do all these things. This is something their daily routine. They are like slaves. They are like very hard working laborers. They are working there, and nobody is concerned about them. They are happy with their own duty. But once something very uh, peculiar happens. What happened? Another character, Mild Red Douglas, was going with that particular sheep, sheep with her aunt. Um, was also a daughter of a very rich person, a very rich person. She wanted to go down and look at the lower part of the ship, and that is why she went down with a with an engineer. So there, when she encounters Young, she was horrified to see the build, the body of this man, Young. Okay, she refers him as a filthy beast. Okay, so that is a turning point that uh, changed the mindset of this young, energetic, stout, strong, muscular Young. Okay, so Young became very infuriated, and he wanted to avenge. He wanted to take revenge. Okay, so we find later the scene shifts to New York, in the Fifth Avenue, where Young is who is mentally very disturbed after listening these words, "filthy beast." After this phrase was spoken by Mild Red in order to indicate his appearance, so he became mentally disturbed. Okay, as bonded laborers kind of work they are doing every time, they have no such identity. They were human beings, but they actually do not feel themselves to be um, very equal to the other rich people. But now when he is compared to a beast, so he never finds the human being inside him. So that is very disturbing. He was disturbed in his psychology, and he started to quarrel unnecessarily everywhere. And he punches a man in that avenue, and for the consequence, he was arrested and sent to an island for 30 days imprisonment. A sentence of 30 days imprisonment. So there he tried to come out of the jail by means breaking the railings. Okay, he bent the railings. He came out again. He was caught by the police, and he was again sent to the jail. Okay. After 30 days, he came. So after he returns, he again tried to find his belongingness in the society. Okay, so when after this, when he commits any error, police did not take any look at him. Police let him wander like this. Nobody cares about him. He is nobody in the society. Okay, nobody cares about him. And at last we find he goes to a Jew. Okay, He goes to a zoo in which he finds that uh, other apes are there. A gorilla. He finds a gorilla there, and he went there. Looking at the gorilla, he finds that he is equal to the gorilla. There are certain similarities in between them. Okay, but unfortunately, the gorilla, all the gorillas together, they killed him. They smashed him and threw him to the cage, and um, he was dead. Okay, this is the end of the drama. You can say in brief. Mostly, we find that the character of Young is to be discussed. O'Neill expressionistically juxtaposes his title, okay, which is an contrast an aggressive, brutish fireman, or you can say a stoker, with a series of contrasting agents. Okay. An aggressive fireman, aggressive, brutish kind of, brutal, you can say, fireman. He has a lot of he has a lot of contrasting agents. These contrasts are often mistaken for romantic melodrama. Okay, it is taken as melodrama, but it is not melodramatic. Okay, they're rich and poor, good and evil. These are the contrasts. Okay, are stuff of the melodrama. Here, the protagonist searches for a sense of belongingness, search of belonging, a sense of belonging in a world controlled by the rich. The world is controlled by the rich. Okay, mild red is a symbol of the rich. Mild red is the um, image by which we look at the rich, the upper class, the most intelligent, educated, and people in the society. So here we find the protagonist do not find somebody equal to him in the society, somebody close to him in which he can live with them like friends. So everybody he finds are different, and he is different. His crisis of identity, we find he struggles a lot for the identity. Who actually he is? That is a critical question, because mild red indicates him as a beast. People in the sheep, okay, they consider him as a fireman. Okay, so in the society they have no existence, they have no value, they have no society. They are the outcast kind of people, they are the slaves kind of people. They go on working hard and hard all through their life without any recognition, without any appreciation. So that is how we find he does not find who exactly he is. What is his identity? Is he a man? If he is a man, why Mild Red said that he is a beast? So this is the question. Okay, there was a mental and physical deterioration started when Mild Red indicates him as the beast, as the filthy beast. So from there on, we find there was a deterioration psychologically and mentally. In a fight for social belongingness, his mental state disintegrates into animalistic, you can say. At the end, he is defeated by an app in which Young's character has been reflected. He finds his similarities. He finds that the ape gorilla is very close to him. He looks like the gorilla. Okay, if you have seen the movie, there is you may find this movie in YouTube about this hairy app. You will find the figure how it is designed in the theater. The figure looks like the figure of a monkey, ape, gorilla. Given you must have seen how they look like. So the figure of this particular man, Young, has been designed like this by the dramatist. Okay, so he finds his character reflected in the gorilla that he encounters in the cage in the zoo. Okay, so there was a fight for social belonging. He fights every time from the beginning. He fights to be recognized in the society as a class, as a means individual, as an individual. They need identity, they need social status, but they don't have anything. Okay, so that is why they were in search of their belongingness, their belonging, social belonging. Who belongs to them? Who else are there? Belongs to their society, their community. Okay, so that was the question which made him to deteriorate. The play is a portrayal of the impact of industrialization and social class has no you can say uh, it is a portrayal of the effects of industrialization. So we find in the 19th century, particularly when we talk about the early part of 20th century or the later part of 19th century in America, there was industrialization going on. So industrialization means a lot of working class, and the people, the owners of the industries, they they exploited the workers as much they want. Okay, in the name of urbanization, in the name of scientific inventions, okay, they started to exploit the man. Industrialization means a lot of industries are there. For everything, there were industries, and as many industries grew up, the members, the working class also were demanded, and as per the demand, the people they wanted, they started working there. Okay, due to this industrialization, there was a very you can say a very hostile relation you will find among the upper class and the lower level of people, those who work as daily laborers. They were exploited the most. Okay, they are supposed to work day and night. Their salary will be very minimum. They will work like anything, like the bonded laborers, you can say. The slavery system was not there as before, but you can say the same slavery system was being reintroduced in the pretext of industrialization, in the pretext of modernization. So these people like Young, they were the victim of that industrialization. Due to industrialization, their strength, their capability were exploited the more. He was very strong, I said. He was very muscular. He can do many things. He was exploited for that, but was given no recognition. If there is no recognition and your identity is not confirmed, you are always treated, behaved like this, you belong to no caste, no class, no society. So then what is the meaning of working day and night hard when you say we are working for our country, for our nation? So that is how it is very important to discuss how Young or the character of Young is portrayed as an impact as a product byproduct of industrialization. He sacrifices his life to nothing. Okay, this is an existential concept that we discussed in some other classes. Existential concept. Okay, so he sacrificed his life. He was dead at the end for nothing. What did he get? He worked day and night. He worked with all his efforts, with all his strength, but got nothing. Okay, that is why you can say this is an existential. He is an existential hero. Okay, who does something which has no meaning, no essence. You can say in the essentialism concept. In essentialism concept, whatever you do must have some essence, or you should perform according to essence. But here, Yank does something which has no essence. What is the need of going to the gorilla and attacking them? Okay, this is something existential. So that is why you can relate it with existentialism. Um, he accepts his position at the end. Okay, at the end, he accepts his position. He finds his position himself. Okay, he finds that the gorillas are the true friends or the true community that he belongs to. Throughout his entire life up to his death, he was searching for the belonging, to whom he belongs to, what identity he belongs to. But now, at the end, when he finds it, he was killed. Okay, his liberation derives from the futility of his existence. Okay, futility of existence. The existence is completely futile, meaningless. It has no meaning at all. So his liberation, he became free. He became liberated. He became liberated only when his futility of the existence is proved. When his existence is proved futile, your existence has no meaning. You are born in such a way, your figure is just like this, just like an app. So you have no place in the world. Everybody will be scared of your appearance. So you cannot live here. You belongs to the app category. So all these things that always went inside his mind, psychology, will find proves that his existence in 20th century is meaningless. He cannot belong to himself with anyone. So by working day and night, becoming black in color, even you are white. So if you work with the coal day and night in front of the fireplace, so how can you maintain your uh, uh, physical beauty or physical appearance? You cannot maintain it. You will become very black, like just like the Negroes. You'll look black. Second, you have no time for grooming yourself to maintain your appearance. The rich, they have enough time. They have a lot of money. They are very white. In contrast to Yang, we find Mildred is very white. Even she is wearing white dress also to indicate, to symbolize that they are very clean. But on the other hand, these people, these firemen, these stokers, they are very filthy kind of persons. Actually, they cannot make themselves clean. When you have to work with the coal, how can you want to keep yourself neat and clean all the time? You cannot. Only when you are free from your duty, and at that time, if you want, you can make yourself clean or you can maintain cleanliness. But when you are at the work station, you are busy with your daily work, how can you become very neat and clean like a very sahib kind of person, a master kind of person? You cannot. So that was the same condition that Yank was trying to become a human being, though he is considered as an app. Throughout the play we find the people, it's not Mildred only. In the minds of all the rich people, he was just like, he has been caged because of that. Mildred's father has an hand, you can read a hand in arresting him and sending to the cage. So that is something happened, we find, because the rich people, they have different perceptions towards these daily hard working laborers. Okay, so that is why his futility, we find that he got liberated only when his we find when his existence, futile existence, was uh, proved. He meets the symbolic equal and dies knowing that he belongs to somewhere. Okay, when he finds his belonging equal, I said the symbolic equal, the gorilla, the apes, he finds there only he died, knowing that at last I got my belonging. So you can compare the caged gorillas with a hard working, has contributed a lot for the owners, okay, of different industries. Okay, social recession, you can say, by the industrialization is a very important theme here. We'll find operation of the industrial working class is another theme. The industrial environment is presented as toxic, dehumanizing. Okay, we find the world of rich, superficial, and manipulative people belonging to that rich class. They are always dehumanizing the people in industrial environment. Okay, during this industrial period, the environment has got uh, become toxic. Okay, so one who goes there is supposed to die, so you have to die like young. So it was a situation like that, the people have behavior like that. This was the situation. Young represent human condition. Okay, alienated from nature. So industrialization is against naturalism. I said it is against nature. Okay, nature said that you have to make your livelihood like this, but we have adopted a lot of other scientific approaches. We applied a lot of scientific skills in order to make things easier, make things available easily. Anyhow, so the kind of industrialization is against nature. So here we find young representing human condition. Okay, which has become alienated, separated from nature. One more thing you can also find, the capitalist. Okay, the capitalist system, okay, persecuted the working class. The capitalists, those who have the capitals, those who are rich, those who guide, okay, those who instruct, those who make the laws, those who belong to the higher class, the capitalist. Okay, they are handling, they are managing, they are controlling the lives of these working class people. Okay, so we find a racial degeneration. Okay, regarding it is working class, the middle class, and the higher class. So we find this racial, this class structure has a degeneration, and we find, and this is a very pathetic story about young, a very working uh, class hero. Okay, this is about the first drama, that is the Harry app. So now come to Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. Okay, it was a very important tragedy in two acts. We find two acts set in 1940s New York, okay, told through a montage of memories, dreams, and arguments of the protagonist, Willie Loman. Willie Loman is the protagonist. Okay, Willie Loman and his family members, we find they are the characters in this drama. Okay, mostly we find characters like Willie Loman, uh, a man of 65. Okay, old man. Linda Loman, his wife, Biff Loman and Happy Loman, his two sons. Okay, and two other characters you will find. Many characters are there. Those who are very less frequently comes to the audience, and they are very they have very less role to play. Charlie, a neighbor of Willie Loman, and Bernard, Charlie's son. These are the main characters you will find. So here Willie Loman is a salesman, a traveling salesman, who is disappointed uh, from his life. He's disappointed. Why is disappointed? Okay. So when you must have heard about this story, he has worked very hard. He has worked for many years in the company as a salesman. He travels a lot of places and tried his best, and now he was very old. So in the entire life of a salesman, he has tried to live a false life. He has tried to live. He has tried to maintain a false identity. Okay, he has a lot of dreams. He has tried many ways to become very renowned. He has some models in his imagination that when he will die, people will come like this, people will respect him like this. He has a lot of dream, but actually his real identity is something different. Okay, which is even not known to his own family members. Okay, we find a variety of themes we'll discuss later. Okay, um, this drama explores the psychological chaos of the protagonist and the capitalist society's impact on his life. Okay, how the capitalist society looks at him, and in between them, okay, among a society like that, how Willie Loman manages to live, and what is the outcome of his dream and his life. So we'll discuss that. This drama won 1949 Pulitzer Prize for drama and Tony Award for the best play. So it's a very important drama by Arthur Miller. Considered, it is considered by several critics as one of the greatest the plays of the 20th century drama, 20th century literature. Okay, it is a tragedy of a man who gave his life or sold it, who sold it his life in pursuit of American dream. So American dream is the major theme we'll discuss later. Okay, he dreamed of a lot, and that was the situation. That was the scenario, cultural scenario in which every character represented by Willie Loman, they are supposed to dream like that. That was American dream. Everybody has a dream to go to the top, to become the master. That was American dream in the early part of 20th century. Okay. Willie Loman realizes that he has been a failure. He is a failure as a father, as a husband, as a businessman throughout all his life. Okay. So when the play begins, uh, you can see when the play begins, uh, we find this 63-year-old traveling salesman is very tired, returned from a trip early, asking his wife Linda if there was um, means he is very tired. Okay, he is very absent-minded. So when he becomes 63 years old, a lot of psychological uh, turbulence in his mind. He is absent minded. That is why Linda, his wife, asks him whether there is any accident. So there was always a chance of accident, and the accidents are of have two reasons. You can say the accidents have two reasons why he is prone to commit accidents, or means this is because of two reasons. One is he is absent minded. He always feels hallucination in his mind. He is always lost in imagination, thinks a lot. Okay, because of his psychological disturbance, mental pressure. Okay, throughout his life, he has worked. I said for 36 years he served the company, but he struggled a lot. Still, he is not given a fixed salary. He is given only the commission on the product he sold. Whatever he sells a day, the commission will be his salary, you can say. So that is why he has no fixed salary. Sometimes he gets a lot of salary, sometimes very less. Okay, so that is why during his youth he could manage, but during his old age he is unable to earn something, and that is why he is in difficulty how to manage everything. The two sons he had, they are also like his like their father Willie. They means the older one Beef. Beef is also working. is now at the present time he is very much inclined to um, agriculture, we find. But before, he was working in a company also. There also he had a dream like that. He wants to become very rich. He wants to have all the luxury of life. He has a lot of dream. And the another son, Happy, he is still working, okay, uh, like his father as a salesman. So all of them are working, but the earning is very less. They are unable to pay the insurance installments, you can say, okay. They are unable to pay that. Their house, their cars, their refrigerator, everything has been brought on installments, and they're unable to pay that. So this is the situation. And Willie, who has a lot of dream in his life, towards the end of life, he always thinks about the condition, the poverty, the kind of false identity he has maintained. Now he has told his boss that his son is working somewhere with a good amount of salary. Okay, so they are also saying, giving people false conceptions about their own family and family background. They say they have everything. Okay, so that is something they like to show uh, into the public, to the public. So we find that brief 32 years son and Willie, they always have contradictory ideas. Okay, they fight most of the time through their words. They argue most of the time. I said this is a drama, okay, told through arguments. Will find, you will reveal everything in flashbacks. You will find that these father and son, Beef and Willie, they most often they share their arguments among themselves, and from those arguments you will find what actually happened in the past. Okay, in the past there was a story why Beef is always arguing with his father, that he found, means Beef had a very um, Beef Beef had his father as his model. He knew that his father is a very high profile person, working as a very renowned salesman. Okay, as a salesman, he has a lot of respect. People afraid of him. He was very renowned, very popular. Okay, well efficient. So all the good qualities which are not false, which are not at all true, they all are false, has been given to everyone connected to Willie, and his son is not an exception also. So the son Beef has this kind of idea in his mind, always keeps his father as his model, and tries to become a person like him, up to a certain incident. I'm talking about that incident. So in a hotel room once, when this Beef became a failure in maths, he failed in maths, and he wanted to inform his father. So when he came to the hotel room, he found his father with a woman, a saleswoman. Okay, that in order to increase the sale with that kind of you can say promise, this Willie has brought that woman to the hotel, and they have their affairs, they have their relationship. So when this particular scene was seen by his own eyes, Beef became a contrast character. He forgot all the things he has in mind. He was very devastated kind of thing. He has thought of his father like anything, but he is always saying, taking or wearing a mask to cover his inner identity, and to the society he has a good identity. He looks very good. Okay, so when he found that his father is going on cheating his mother, so he became very contrast to the character Willie, and we find that they most often they fight. So when after many days of examination, when Linda finds that this Willie is unable to do perform well in his job, he suggests him to go to the boss and talk to him to give him a non-movement, non-traveling job. Okay, so he can sit somewhere and work in the town. So he wanted a transfer, and Willie also Willie also agreed to this suggestion. Beef, who was working before joining this agricultural works, he was working with a person called Bill Oliver. He stole a lot of things from there, so he thought of going there because Bill Oliver has promised to help him any time with any amount. So Biff thought of going to that particular person and ask for a loan. So both the father and son, they went to means Willie went to the boss Howard. Okay, Howard Wagner is the boss, and Beef went to the person he was working earlier, Bill Oliver. So both of them returned empty-handed. None of them get anything in their attempt. So on the other hand, we find Willie lost his job. Means after pestering many times to increase his salary, to make a fixed salary 65 per week, $65 a week, $50 a week, $40 a week, he went on bargaining, okay, to give him a sitting job and a fixed salary. So the irritated boss fired him from the company. Okay, so that was another shock to this person. And Beef, on the other hand, also got nothing. Okay, so both of them, they returned, and happy also. Three of them went to a restaurant. There they were discussing about the outcome of their attempt to get something. So Willie clearly told about the loss of job, and also Beef said that nobody, means the person, denied to give him a loan. So these two brother, Happy and Beef, means after listening that Willie has lost the job, means Beef left the place, and Happy, he also left the place with two girls. And the person Willie sitting there, he started to talk to his old brother Ben. Okay, Uncle Ben. So while talking to Uncle Ben, we find he is asking for a solution. He has installments to do, insurance to cover, and many things he has left to do, and he has lost his job. So the brother suggests that you kill yourself. Okay, if you commit suicide, then the insurance money can help your family. So that was the ultimate goal in their communication through imagination. So after that, Willie came into the car, and while driving, he deliberately made an accident, and he was killed. After that, we find at the last scene, he was being buried. The funeral is being undertaken, and there we find only the family members of these persons, means Happy, Biff, his wife Linda are present, and Charlie and Bernard, who live close to them, only they are present. But the dream of this person was that all the salesmen of this land, they will come. He will be given a very highly prestigious tribute on his death. A lot of people will come and mourn over his death. So that was the dream. He will become so rich, so renowned, so famous, so established that people will. So that did not happen at all. So that is the end of the story you find. So here you will find the main theme being American dream. American dream. So dream was very important, and that dream was the only cause of his death, means Willie's death. If he must be happy with what he had already, whatever house he had, whatever salary he is getting, if he would be happy with that, so he would not have died. He would not have thought of committing suicide. Only because of the dream, he was very unhappy in the psychological manner, He always he was always in dream, always in trance, always in hallucination. Okay, and thought of committing suicide. So all these thoughts came because of the unfulfillment of his desires, his dreams, his expectations. So that was the person had at that time. So this is very important. And another theme you can say, the reality versus illusion. Reality versus illusion. Illusion is the dream. Illusion is something that you see through your imagination. If you sit and think that I have become a king, I have become very rich, I have everything, that is called, you can say that is the illusion. Only you can see, you can visualize through your mind's eye, but the reality is very different. The reality is actually the reality. So you cannot change it. All kind of imagination cannot change it. Okay, so we find that Willie was living most often in illusions. He never thought of a reality. He was never happy with the reality. He never wants to live in reality. Always he thinks that he is a very successful person. His sons are very successful. He is living a very happy life in imagination, in dream. Okay, and but actually we find he is not at all uh, living happily. He was stressed. He was living in hallucination. A lot of problems were there. So this is the theme, you can say. So these are the dramas in brief. I have given you certain points. So you need to go through the material given to you thoroughly in order to prepare for the examination. And this is in nutshell. You can get an introduction to the text, to the drama, to American history of American drama, and these two plays by Arthur Miller and mm, mm, Eugene O'Neill. Okay, so if there is any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we have to stop. This was the last class, and in any case, if you need any help from my side, you are free to ask. If you are free to call me uh, on any kind of problems related to these papers, these text. If you need help at any time, okay, you can freely contact me, call me. So now the time is to stop. If you have any queries, anyone, you can go on asking. Anybody has any problem, any question? Okay, thank you. So we have to stop now. I hope all of you have entered your enrollment numbers, names and enrollment numbers. Yes. Those who have not entered, you can enter your enrollment numbers and names for the sake of attendance. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.